and launching this magnum opus of yours. You know, there is another Dhurandhar that has won the hearts of a nation and captured the imagination of a nation. And I hope that this book too will be a blockbuster.
Thank you so much.
And also win the aesthetic love of readers and historians and lay people and art lovers alike. So let me say that I went through the dummy that you gave me of the book. It's it's a magnificent book, beautifully illustrated, meticulously researched, so compellingly narrated, how you have connected the pictures with the evolution of the life of this great Indian artist, the greatest Indian one of the greatest Indian artists of the 20th century, with such love and care and passion. So why did you do this book?
Okay.
And if I may just ask, was it because he has not been given his due? He and the Bombay School of Art, in himself, but also in relation to, say, Raja Ravi Varma,
right,
and the Bengal School of Art and others. So, please, Sandeep.
Am I audible at the back? Great. Can I also have the presentation, please? Hello? Hello? Yes. I hope you can see the presentation. No?
No.
Anyways, but I'll start. Yes, to the second part of your, you can see it? Great, thank you. So yes, Dhurandhar did not receive the kind of attention he should receive after his death. Of course, he was a successful artist. Not many artists receive success in their lifetime. Gaitonde is a best answer. He's the best example for that. But anyways, Dhurandhar was a very successful commercial artist. He's considered as a father of applied or commercial art in Mumbai. And you see, there are different art schools which were started by the British. And Madras was the first one, followed by Calcutta, and then came Bombay and Lahore. So in modern sense, the first three are very important ones. And after independence, there was this concept called Navaratnas of artists, which included 6 Bengali artists. The other 3 were Amrita Shergill, Nicholas Roerich, and then Raja Ravi Varma. So no one represented from Bombay school, no one came from Madras school. Okay, Madras school is not documented properly. Bombay school is partially well documented. Most of the documentation is done in Marathi. Okay, so nothing was explored much. Okay, then why Dhurandhar is important? Because he was the one who documented Indian women from different regions and created this impression of Adarsh Bharatiya Stri, which was very much important. He was the first Indian artist to have documented life of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj by creating the life scenes in series. Okay, so Ravi Varma, of course, was the first Indian to do so, but he made only one painting, which was translated into a print. Okay, then I see Dhurandhar carrying forward Ravi Varma's legacy after his death, and when I see this, I see it through the chromolithographs which were printed. So it can be different episodes from Ramayana, Mahabharata, Indian mythology, Indian history. So that is a great contribution. I see him as creating the Guru Shishya Parampara in the Bombay school, where John Griffiths, who was the only Victorian artist in India at that time, trained Dhurandhar. Ravi Varma was a self-taught artist. Dhurandhar was a trained artist from the Bombay School of Art. And yeah, that's the real Dhurandhar. So he created a Guru Shishya Parampara where you have John Griffiths, then Dhurandhar, and then many big names in Bombay School of Art, which includes S.L. Haidankar, then you have N.R. Sardesai, and many more who were trained under him, B.C. Zogadekar, many more. So yeah, and his main focus is on figurative compositions, okay, and has some influence of neoclassical style of art. So that is very important to understand. And of course, he has this impact of Marathi Natya Sangeet. Bal Gandharva used to come to his house and take advice on what to wear, especially the saris and the jewelry.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's it.
No, so this is a pioneering work in so many ways. And you call it Chitra Charitra.
Yes.
Charitra. That is character and life with illustrations,
Ji.
with pictures.
Ji.
And what you have done is, and that's what I really loved, is the way you have described the creation of each painting. You've gone into the background of how the subject was shown, how it came about. And there are many interesting aspects of this Dhurandhar the painter, as much as Dhurandhar the man.
Yes.
And the Indian. So tell us about that, and also about the fact that one of the things that strike you is, compared to even Raja Ravi Varma,
Yes.
he was much more versatile. He had many more styles. His subjects were more diverse.
Ji.
So maybe you throw some light on that.
So Ravi Varma is seen as the first Indian artist who was very much successful in establishing himself by practicing independently in his studio, establishing a printing press, which also made his art popular. It reached in people's house in India, in fact, when the gods were not available for everyone. So Dhurandhar does the same. In fact, if you saw, this is the Lakshmi and Saraswati done by Ravi Varma. Dhurandhar doesn't copy him directly, okay? He has his own style. He makes the Indian gods in his own ways with his grace and definition of beauty. And you see Dhurandhar's prints of Samudra Manthana Lakshmi and then Shri Vidya Saraswati.
This is just beautiful.
So the Ravi Varma
The
sari
Samudra
colors.
Manthan one is absolutely good.
So the sari color is exchanged. So Ravi Varma's Saraswati
Yes,
is in white sari, Lakshmi is in red sari. Dhurandhar makes exactly opposite of that.
Yeah.
And you see the Saraswati is holding a sitar, which also shows the liking of the artist towards the Hindustani classical music. Then you have these prints from the Raja Ravi Varma press depicting Indian mythology, Ramarajabhishek, and Shiva and Parvati in procession. So unlike Ravi Varma, Dhurandhar is seen doing many procession paintings. So there is one chapter on procession paintings in this book. Then you see a lot of historical paintings. As I said, you see here Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who was disrespected in the Agra Darbar, and look at the expressions of the other figurative composition supporting the expression of Shivaji Maharaj, who is facing Aurangzeb directly. So the kind of shock which is created, the expression of shock, is very catchy in this painting, in this work. And of course, this is a watercolor. He painted in both oil colors and watercolors. Then you see this is J.J. School of Art, where he received his initial training. John Griffiths also gave him many opportunities. So Dhurandhar kind of actually combines architecture, portraiture, figurative compositions, then objects.
And murals.
And murals. So,
and nudes.
Yes, to
Beautiful
form
nudes.
a complete picture. So unlike Ravi Varma, who did mostly the figures, and his painter brother, younger brother, completed the landscapes, Dhurandhar here is seen completing his own work. Okay. And then there are some sketches. He followed his guru's lifelong advice of sketching. So around 50,000 artworks of Dhurandhar are told to be he had made in his lifetime, and
Wow.
most of them are sketches. So you see Dhurandhar practicing, documenting lives of common people, not just aristocratic families and royalties. Okay. And
He himself came from a humble background.
yes, and here you see.
Unlike Raja Ravi Varma.
Yes, so there were some connections.
Yeah.
Here Dhurandhar had to struggle, okay. And you see here Bapu Bai, who died of plague, he has created the same sketch, the sketch when she passed away in a hospital. So this is the first ever example of a death portraiture coming from the Bombay School of Art, okay. Then you see multiple sketches of his second wife, who is Gangubai, okay. So he's practicing. His wife is can be seen in different moods, taking care of his artist daughter, Ambika Dhurandhar. So in some cases, you see Dhurandhar has painted, has drawn one sketch in 1917, if you see, and then a similar sketch coming from 1922. So he liked the standing posture, and he has painted it the way she's elegantly standing, holding the boar mar in her hand, and he loved the figure. So he's seen practicing it, completing it. Then he can be seen documenting many people with different ethnic identities, ladies in different kinds of saris, men with different pagdis, which were the markers of the ethnic identities of people in Bombay presidency. And then, of course, the Nawari sari. So it's typical Sapun Sopun Nesleli Nawari, which is tightly draped. Yeah, yes. Tightly draped. And yeah, so you also get a view of different Maharashtrian style Nawari color combinations of the textiles. The lady in the black is wearing a Chandrakala Paithani. Then this is a typical Naurichi Kholi, or the bride's room. It's called, the painting is called Bridesmaid, okay? Then you have the 4 murals which were done
in the North Block.
North Block of Imperial Secretariat in Delhi, and this was the most important project he worked on. So you see Stridhana. So there are 4 murals which were connected to the laws, Indian laws. So Stridhana and Dattaka Vidhan were part of the Indian law. So here you will see a postcard figure is transformed in this mural as his own beautiful, in his own beautiful style. And he loved the form, and he has created something more better than what the woman looks in the postcard. This is Dattaka Vidhan, or law for adoption. You can see Dhurandhar reusing his figures. So for example, this Pandit is seated, and then the Tasha player, or the percussionist. Here you see him in the Ravi Varma chromolithograph, and the other Tasha boy in a Suvarnamala illustration, magazine illustration.
So
I'll just
I
complete.
wish we could go on for longer, but I do want to ask you the how of it. Please tell us about your journey in writing this book, first conceiving it, and then what were the ecstasy and agony milestones as you came along in writing this book?
Right. So this is actually for the youngsters who are present here, who are interested in history, writing history, reading history, we need to understand that documentation is not full research, it is part of research. It is not actual writing, okay? It is part of the process, and one needs to collect data, which is very important, of course, but you also need to analyze it properly, okay? Process the data into information or knowledge. Information is a very bad word. It is, which I think I'll stick with knowledge. Creating data into knowledge and passing it on to the next generation is important. So one has to do field works, go to museums, libraries, explore the private collections.
And detective work.
Absolutely. One has to sit in archives.
Who has what?
Deal with dust, because archives are
yes,
always
yes.
associated with dust. And then understand what are primary sources, what are secondary sources. So in case of Dhurandhar, the primary sources were his own autobiography, which talks mainly about his career. So I thought I should explore more and get to know Dhurandhar in a very different manner. So artworks which are mentioned in this autobiography are published in this book. The important artworks which are in private collections are also included here. Titles of the artworks, original titles given by the painter, okay? Then artworks which were awarded many prizes in different industrial and art exhibitions are included in this book.
So these you would not get to see, art lovers,
Yeah.
in the normal course.
And this is coming for the
Because they are
very
in
first
private
time.
collections, scattered all over.
In fact, there
And
are
you
also...
put it all together in this book.
Right. So in fact, there are many paintings from the royal collections of Aundh, Baroda, Kolhapur, and many other princely states like Miraz, which are now in some of them are in private collections. So they are all included in this book. Secondly, one has to also understand, were there any other scholars who have discussed this topic? So there was this late professor, Dr. Nalini Bhagwat, who had extensively worked on Bombay School of Art. She passed away and her PhD thesis remains unpublished, unfortunately. Followed by her, there are two important Bombay School artists who have written, not extensively, but have wrote about many artists.
But how long did it take
It
for
took
you?
8 years to write.
Wow. So then you were even younger
Yeah.
when you started the journey.
Two more things. One has to also be correct, should have correct judgment. One has to observe artworks, whether they are fake or genuine. Because of the
Yeah.
2018 art exhibition in Mumbai, Dhurandhar has suddenly can be seen in the art market. And there are many fakes which are coming. So this book is going to help experts and art lovers to identify which one is fake, which one is genuine. And talking about, again, research, one has to define scope. When I saw Dhurandhar, there was so much of unused data lying, and no one actually dared to write about him. Because, of course, Marathi...
Prodigious research
yes,
and work.
So one has to define their scope and then accordingly take this challenge. So that's what I did.
So we are almost coming to the end of our conversation, but I do hope that lovers of art, history, and aesthetics will immerse themselves into this great ocean that you have churned up through this book, Sandeep. And we have only a few minutes for one or two questions.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
It's surprisingly that
Mike, please.
and he belongs to a community called the Pathari Prabhus, which are the
Yes.
original inhabitants of Bombay.
Yes.
So it's fascinating, and I had tears in my eyes because I remembered my father. There was another contemporary artist of Dhurandhar called Dalal. Did you ever come across him?
Sorry? The name?
Dalal Madun.
Dinanath Dalal. Much younger, I will say.
Yeah.
But yes, he was also into commercial.
Yeah.
He was a
Why did
commercial
you
artist.
choose? Why did you choose Dhurandhar as a subject to write this book?
Because when I started exploring, I started getting new information. I found so much information on Marathi Natya Sangeet, its connection with Dhurandhar's art style, and then there was this portrait of Balagandharva which we found, and it's part of this book. I've written about how Dhurandhar's influence is
But also
seen.
because he is one of the greatest.
Yeah, and that
And
portrait
you
is
loved it,
important
huh?
because that is the only known portrait which was done when Balagandharva was alive. So that case, then Bombay, and then the patronage which the princely states gave to him, then Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. I think there are very few artists who have done so much of great work
Yeah.
in Indian art. So I see him like Abanindranath Tagore of Bombay School.
Right.
Yeah.
So one more question and then.
Thank you, ma'am.
But
First of
also,
all,
as you say, he was not only one of the greatest artists, but also one of the greatest Indians.
Yes, yes.
thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Congratulations, first of all, for this
Thank you.
wonderful book.
Thank you.
I look forward to reading it. You have, obviously being the first major book on Dhurandhar, it has a lot of documentation. But my question is,
Ji.
how did he contribute to the creation of Indian visual modernity? And I'm asking this question in the context of much work that has been done
Ji.
on Ravi Varma on
Ji.
the one hand, and then
Ji.
Amrita Shergill on the other, by people like Geeta Kapoor and others. So what was Dhurandhar's contribution to the creation of visual modernity in India? Thank you.
Very
Okay.
well.
So I see Dhurandhar making different series of artworks, which included postcards. Then there were some chromolithographs, which were important. And then there are many illustrations which were also created. If talking about morality, as you said, some postcards talk about alcoholism. Then there are postcards which are connected to extramarital affairs. So I think such kind of artworks you don't see happening in Ravi Varma's part. So I think it makes Dhurandhar very unique. I think our time's out.
Thank you all very much and wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
With your magnum opus and this act of creation
Ji.
and love.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.